In this video, we will review parts of a radical and how to simplify them. So the nth root of a number, a, can be written as a radical expression. So the little check mark or house looking is called a radical. Anything that is inside the radical, so any number or variable, is known as the radicand. The index is whatever number that is written on top of the radical. And this is determining what nth root we are taking. So it could be the second root, third root, fourth root, etc. If there is no index, it is assumed that n is equal to 2. And this is what a square root would look like. So if you see a radical without an index, it is known as a square root. Where we have an index such as 3, that can mean the cube root. If it were a 4, that would be the fourth root, etc. So for every video, we will have a secret word. The secret word for this video is operation. You should take note of it. The reason this word is selected is because Miss Sanchez's dog is getting an operation. So perfect squares is a number you get by multiplying a whole number by itself. So for example, 1 times 1, or 1 squared, gives me 1. So 1 is a perfect square. 2 squared gives me 4, so 4 is another perfect square. So if I were to go down the list of just numbers, 3 squared gives me 9, so 9 is another perfect square. 4 squared is 16, so 16 is another perfect square. 5 squared gives me 25, so 25 is another perfect square. And you can go down the list. So here we have a list of the first 12 perfect squares, but we can infinitely keep going. We can say 13 squared, 14 squared, 15 squared, and get all of these other perfect square numbers. Now, the reason that we have perfect squares is because we can help us get the perfect square roots of these numbers. So square roots of a perfect square simplify nice with a calculator. They also simplify nicely if you know the perfect squares in your head, because you know what number creates the perfect square. And the square root just basically undoes that operation. So for the number 1, the square root of 16 is going to equal 4. The reason for that is because 4 squared gives you 16. So a square root just undoes what we did to the number. So first we squared 4, but the square root took the square away and it went back to 4. So in example 2, I have a 2 in front of the radical. This is not an index because the index would be a smaller number. So this is just a coefficient that I am holding on until I simplify the radical. So I want to identify what is the square root of 121. Well, that number is 11. And now I can multiply that coefficient, that number that was in front of the variable, of the radical. So this gives me 22. Then in 3, I have 6. So I have another coefficient that I'm going to hold on to. And then I have the square root of 289. So this is not on my list of the first 12 perfect squares. So I actually don't know what this is based off my original list, but I could find it out using a calculator. So if I were to continue going down the list, I would identify that the square root of 289 is 17. Because 17 squared gives me 289. And then I can go ahead and do this multiplication. This would give me 102. So in question 4, I want to go ahead and repeat the same thing. If I have a coefficient, which I do, 3, I'm going to leave that until I simplify the radical. And then I'm going to identify what is the square root of 400. In this case, it is 20. And then I'm going to go ahead and simplify. So 3 times 20 is equal to 60.